Our next speaker is another John Kramer. John Kramer, he's a student here. He's a member of the College Republicans. He's 19 years old, graduated from Mars High School in Mars, Pennsylvania. He's a freshman here. He's a member of the College Republicans, passionate about politics, and sometimes hopes to get more involved. John.
Saying welcome to Bowling Green. Believe it or not, this is a nice day out here. So I'm just going to talk to you for a few minutes about what I believe is a conservative and how my experience have helped shape my beliefs. And I believe that the root of some of these problems that are happening in offices today are that people just don't adhere to the values, the traditional American values that we have all pretty much been started out and raised on. And I think that because of the lack of these values are present in the office, people, they just aren't adhering to them. I was brought up in a conservative household, and I learned through my experiences. That values are definitely needed among every branch of government. I've also noticed a growing trend in Washington these days that people just aren't adhering to them. And what happens whenever these values start to deteriorate among politicians, the country starts to deteriorate because these values are the values on which this country was founded. People stray away from these values for a variety of reasons. Some of the reasons that are more common in politics today are greed, power, fame, popularity, and some people just have the overall attitude of resignation. Resignation meaning that people have the attitude that, you know, it just doesn't matter, that one person's not going to be able to make a difference in politics or in government, and so if I can't make that difference, why should I even pay attention to it? And that's the attitude that people need to be aware of that is out in society now, and that's what we need to do, and that's what we're doing now as far as working to change it. I guess the growing trend that I've noticed is that this is blowing up in politics, and if an individual who's not involved in politics and is just a straight-up individual, strays from their values, that's bad enough. But whenever you're a politician and you stray from the values on which people based their choice to vote for you on, then you not only let down yourself and you sell out to yourself, but you sell out to the people that voted for you and the people that stand behind you. And that is an extremely, extremely bad thing for not just, obviously, for yourself, but for the people that voted and for the strength of the country. It's true that America was built off ideas, and all ideas started somewhere. And the values and the traditions that made some of these places great, such as free enterprise and fiscal conservative spending policies, those are the things that make businesses succeed. And in general, the United States is run like a business. It's all based off economics and free enterprise, and that's what makes us unique as a country. And it was built off the entrepreneurial mindset, where if there is a way for it to be done, I will find that way and I will make it happen. And whenever that is the attitude, that is where success comes from. Every corporation, every big business, every employer started in one place. They all started on a piece of paper as an idea. There is nowhere else in the world where one person can have an idea and transform it into a multi-million-dollar corporation or company and employ hundreds of people. That's not... And that's what we need now. We don't need to tax these wealthy people and these people who are creating jobs. We need to be more supportive of entrepreneurs and people who are looking to start small businesses. We need to support them more and make it able to get a chance and to succeed as business, because someday, if that company grows off, then the taxes that they would have been taxed for are going to be paid for by its employees. And as far as government spending goes, I want you to show me a business that stays alive and can keep on borrowing money and spending money that it borrows. So here's what I'm going to say. What we need. I think we need taxes that make life easier on small businesses, because that's where the heart and soul of America lies, is in the free enterprise system. We need... I'll use the example again. If one business is able to start because the government is easier on it and it's encouraging, then if that one business succeeds and it employs 100 people, then that's going to make up for the businesses that did not succeed. We need to stop penalizing success in government as far as business goes. These days, success is looked on as a negative thing. Success as far as personal success and finance goes, that's sometimes a negative thing. People are wanting to tax these people who are successful. So where's my motivation to be successful is kind of what I'm trying to say and get out there. If I'm going to start a business, I want to be successful. But if I'm just going to get taxed extra for it and have people look down on me, that's definitely a motivation killer. And another thing we need to do, I think, is we need to limit outsourcing. We need to bring the jobs back home. Because people can... Thank you. Because people complain to me every day that there are no jobs in the United States, that the jobs are diminishing. Well, here's a solution for that. If we brought the jobs back to the United States, there's more tax money, there's more jobs, more people that are employed. And I think that the companies out there that are outsourcing, I can understand why they do it. It's because it's a cheap method and it's effective, and that's really what they're looking for is the bottom line. But there has to become a point as far as their business practices go, where they stop thinking so much about the profit that they can make and the way that, and the big figures that they can put up, and they need to start thinking about where they started, which is the United States of America. I think another thing we need to do is we need to start looking out for ourselves first. I think that when it comes to helping other countries, that's great, and it's a great thing, and we're pretty much the only place that does it to the extent that we do it. But whenever we're focused more on helping other people than helping ourselves, I think it becomes an issue. And so I definitely think we need to consider that more whenever we make decisions. We need to be supportive of our troops no matter what your position is on the war. If you're against the war, that's great. Blame the politicians. Don't take individual stabs at the troops. They're doing what they do because it's their job and it's their responsibility. We would be absolutely lost without them. And most importantly, we need to educate. We need to make people understand where they came from and the values this country is based off of. We need to prevent people from having that mindset that they can't make a difference, that it doesn't matter what one person thinks, and that they don't want to stand up for what they believe in. We need to educate people and make them understand where we all came from. And that's kind of our job. That's our job here as people who are organized in this awesome group, and it's really what we need in order to be successful in the future generations to come is education. We need to, in order to see where we're going, we have to understand where we came from. So I think that we need to educate the uneducated masses. People get elected into offices based on popularity these days, and that's not the way it should be. People should be elected into office based on what they stand for, not for their charisma. I think that's an extremely large growing trend, and it's definitely contributing to this economy and to everything that's going wrong at this point in time. So what I propose as far as this goes, I propose that each one of us here today convinces 5 people to get involved with politics. And if we kept that rule of 5 going, that each person we met and we talked to, if they went out and found 5 people, we can have this thing turned around by November. If we can keep that rule of 5 going past November, then 2012, we can help to undo what has been done. And as far as people getting involved, this is not just higher levels of government. The higher government is definitely an issue, but the issues also revolve around state and local governments, even as much so as the big government. As far as local elections, people like that, vote for who you get involved in your community and vote for the people who you think will do the best job. Not based on politics, or not based on bribes or things like that as far as popularity goes. If we can do these things, then we can preserve our way of life in the United States. And if we can preserve our way of life in the United States, we will continue to be the greatest country on earth for generations to come. I just want to say before I wrap up here, thanks again for coming. It's very encouraging to see people out here with like-minded ideas as me, because sometimes being around in school, it's not the most popular ideas. So thank you very much for everyone showing up. I really appreciate it. And USA, thank you.
Thank you, John. That's future chairman material there, I think.